Okay, Nintendo's back to the standard black background here. First game of 1985 is Balloon Fight. One very notable fact, it's the first Famicom game that I'm aware of by longtime Nintendo collaborators HAL Laboratory. The most notable employee of HAL is Satoru Iwata, who worked as programmer on this game and eventually became HAL's president. He then moved to Nintendo and of course is the current president of Nintendo. So, you're this little fellow that flies using a couple of balloons tied to his back. Your goal is to clear the screen of other flying enemies. This reminds me a lot of some other game. Oh yes, Joust from Williams, the game where you fly around on ostriches jousting. Very popular arcade game in the early 1980s. The basic concept, controls, and even general screen layout are all taken directly from Joust, and given sort of a cutesy Nintendo-esque makeover. You need to repeatedly press the button to flap your arms to achieve some height. To pop an enemy's balloon, you need to hit him from a slightly higher position than he is. Then as he falls, either hit him again in midair, or after he's on the ground. A midair hit will net you more points. If you wait too long before hitting him the second time, he'll actually have enough time to reinflate his balloon. Now some additional features have been added, such as clouds that'll shoot little deadly electrical sparks that'll travel around the screen. And maybe best of all, when someone falls in the water, a giant fish gobbles them up. It's refreshing to see such a horrifying death in a Nintendo game. Additionally, there's a bonus round where you try to collect as many balloons as possible. Now a few interesting things. The 2-player version allows both players on screen at once, much like in Clu Clu Land. And a historical tidbit, the game was also released in arcades on the Versus system. However, Nintendo programmed the Versus system themselves. It was noticed that the Famicom version had smoother player movement, so Iwata was asked how this was done. Iwata explained the technical trick, which Nintendo then utilized in later games like Super Mario Bros. Now, the final mode simply has you drifting around a maze of deadly obstacles collecting balloons, getting enough points to raise your rank. Most folks don't like the, whole swim through narrow passages filled with deadly items section of video games. But if you dig this sort of thing, well, good for you, give this a try. Overall, it's a pretty fun game, courtesy of HAL and Nintendo.